Outstanding and terrific.
but improving.
Hey, sir.
So you know what?
I love it.
There is nothing like a good cup of coffee. And that's what this is, nothing like it.
Oh, goodness.
What's going on, buddy?
What's new? Been a while. I just jotted a couple notes down. I was going through my week and my account. I said, what are we going to talk about today? So,
Well, yesterday I was at McDonald's. You know how they sometimes, if they get backed up, they have these order numbers that they call out.
sure.
They called out order 867, and I yelled 5309, and nobody laughed. So I realized I was really old, and I took my cheeseburger and I went out to the playground and sat out there and ate it.
I gotta believe if that truly happened, there'd be half the people smiling, thinking that's pretty creative.
Are you trying to tell? You trying to say that I'm fib a little bit when I need to make something funny? That's not my style.
I wonder that it's Tommy Two-Tone.
Tommy Two-Tone, yeah, man. Wow.
Wow. How'd I drag that one out? Tommy Two-Tone. Something happened this past week. I'm pretty good at those one-hit wonder names. I just had something go on this week at work, and someone, where were we? I was walking with a group of people, and a song came up, and I knew it. Of course, I won't come up with it now, but that's all right.
All right, we'll give you 15 minutes. We'll check back in 15, see how you're doing.
I remember where I was in the group I was with. I just don't remember the song.
That's all right.
It might come. We got some time.
No big deal.
Look at this thing.
Tell me what it is. What the heck is that?
This is my 700-page summer read, and I finished it an hour ago.
What is it?
It's a Stephen King book called Desperation. I always try to kind of have some sort of junky novel for a nice summer read.
Yeah.
And this thing, I found it in my garage. I think I bought it at a yard sale for 25 cents years ago. And I remember starting it twice, like getting 30 pages in. And then I said, I'm going to do it this year. So I just finished it an hour ago, 700 pages.
Huh.
It's an original printing. I'm not a big collector of books, but a friend of mine is Stephen King, 1996. But here's the funny part for me. I bought this at a yard sale, but this is inscribed. Listen to this. Christmas 96, Shelby. Now remember, the name of the book is called Desperation. This says, Shelby, a feeling that I'm sorry you've ever known. One you'll never feel again. I'm excited for your home, education, youth, and love. Anything worth having is worth working for. Remember that, and remember that I desperately love you, Mom.
Wow.
Shelby gave the book up. How do you do that? So I bought it for 25 cents at the yard sale and just finished it today. Pretty proud of myself.
So up there, do they do yard sales or garage sales?
That's a good question. I think that's funny. You asked that. I tend to use the word yard sale.
So
I grew up with the term garage sale.
you ever go up to a yard sale and say, okay, how much you want for the yard? I'm ready to buy.
I'm ready. I got my realtor in the car. I'm pre-approved. The keeper's got me pre-approved.
Yeah.
Ready.
And if they're doing a garage sale, I'll say, I'll buy the garage, but I don't want you guys to put your cars in the garage once I buy it. And I want to have a lock so you guys can't get in there once I buy it.
Right. And what if the garage is attached? You want an attached garage or a detached? I want a detached garage.
Detached, yeah.
Oh. So anyway, I don't do a lot of fictional reading. I do a lot of business and development and growth, and I got two right here that I'm loving, but I squeezed in a nice summer read and I finished early. It's not even Labor Day yet. I finished 1 week early.
Wow.
Feeling good about it.
You like it?
How would you get into a book? Plus, during the reading of this, I have flown twice, and I tend to read a lot on planes just because of what else is there to do. So,
yeah, but you don't bring that book, do you? You have to pay extra for luggage, extra fee.
it's funny you say that. I actually did bring this book in my carry-on bag.
Oh.
And I really thought about it because on my flight to Indianapolis in July, I was sitting next to this woman who was reading a little on a Kindle. I don't read on Kindles yet. And she looks at the book and I look at her and I go, gosh, that makes much more sense. But, you know,
So Kindle is one of the
to
Kardashians,
quote,
right?
to quote Shelby's mother once again, anything worth having is worth working for. So I wanted to have the book on the flight. So I had to carry it on. You got to work, man. It's work. Shelby's mom is wisdom.
I would never look at a book like that and say, I got to read this one. Never.
It's funny. It's a little intimidating. I mean, but if anybody would like it, I'm happy to pay it forward and pass it along.
No, nobody wants that book. So you said something about Kindle. Is Kindle one of the Kardashians?
Kindle is I guess what we would call a Kindle, an electronic reader. But I guess that's how they define a Kindle.
You ever see a thing with Bill Burr when he's making fun of Steve Jobs? Like he was overrated. You ever see that?
Jobs is overrated.
Yeah. He says, no, people say they changed people's lives, but did he? I mean, did he? He just hired some people that were, engineers or whatever, and says, hey, do this. And they sit there and wait and say, I don't hear any thinking in there. Let's go.
I don't hear any thinking in there.
And then he says, I know. I want to put my whole music catalog into this little thing. Get on it.
If you think about it, I was over with my friend David's 2 Friday nights ago, who has a stereo receiver, just put a new turntable. And I was so inspired because I'm like, I got 2 cases of albums in my garage, but I don't have a turntable or a stereo. So I brought it. It was like I was in 7th grade. I'm not sure we talked about this. I carried a handful of albums over to his house on a Friday night. And other than the fact that we drank beer when I was there and I drove there, I felt like I was in 7th grade, playing records together. It was pretty awesome.
So talk about table. My wife asked me the other day, hey, can you clear the table? I said, I don't know, but if I get a running start, maybe. So I did, but I when I cleared the table, I actually hit the countertop. I'm not doing that again.
Break any sheetrock or anything like that?
It was too close. No, just almost broke my heart because I hit the corner of the countertop.
Oh. So I saw my orthopedic surgeon friend this past Monday for a follow-up on my shoulder. We talked about the MRI tube and the whole thing.
Yeah.
When I seen him for the MRI appointment, he said, go do this. I told him, so one more thing before I go, because all this guy does, he's the best. All he does is shoulders and knees. So I said, we haven't talked about this yet, but my knee is killing me. It's more pain than anything I got. He says, all right, so when we get the shoulder MRI results, come back and see me. We'll x-ray the knee that day. So this past Monday, I went in, and I was pretty convinced we're going to have to do something arthroscopically in the shoulder and fix it. And they did take a knee x-ray. So he walks in with 2 files, nice guy, Nick is his name. He says, where do you want to start, shoulder or knee? And he says, and your knee is a much bigger story. I'm like, oh my goodness. So the good news on the shoulder was, because he did a rotator cuff repair for me 10 years ago. And you can see the bolt. He goes, you didn't tear anything in the shoulder. I know it's in pain, but everything looks good. You have some inflammation in your rotator cuff, and shoulders can be finicky. So you fell, you injured it, and it got inflamed, and sometimes it just stays inflamed. So I think a cortisone shot can calm that down and hopefully be good. I go, okay. And he says, so this knee, he said, man, everything you told about the knee is exactly on. You got a lot of arthritis in that thing. But I think it's too soon to do anything really drastic like knee replacement surgery, although he says it's inevitable. But I think a cortisone shot there is going to help also. I said, okay. And so 10 minutes later, I walked out of his office with a shot in the shoulder and a shot in my knee. And this is Monday, so it's been 5 days. It's supposed to take 7 to 10 days for this stuff to really, but I'm feeling dramatically better already. It's amazing. So I'm like, you go from living in pain for months and months and months to a lot less pain. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
Oh.
So I went to school with his brother, Rob.
Rob.
Rightus. You went with Arthur, right?
as in arthritis, arthritis. Arthur. Oh, we had a special day this week with Arthur on the 25th.
Wow.
Anniversary of a passing for sweet Art.
So what'd you do to your knee? How did that happen?
What's that?
How'd you mess up your knee?
So the knee is quite a story. I had a little water skiing accident when I was 13 years old. And I tore a little bit of cartilage. We never did anything. It was the 70s. You don't do stuff in the 70s.
Right. Yeah.
My family, just limp around, it'll go away. So I didn't realize I had torn a little piece of cartilage in there. And when I used to crouch down, it would lock. And I would have to stand up and then like force it open and click it back open again. And I did that for 15 years. And then, so you love this. At 28, I had this home delivery steak and seafood company, as you recall. And I'm up in Manchester, New Hampshire, in some office showing them a bunch of stuff. And I crouch down and I feel it lock. I go, all right, I'll just stand up and snap it open again. And what happened was the cartilage tear in the knee. After 15 years, I completed the tear and it went into the knee joint and it locked the whole thing up.
Wow.
Up and I couldn't open my knee. So the next day I had orthoscopic surgery. They went in and took the cartilage out. So for 30 years, I've been bone on bone in my knee, no cartilage, but no pain. And I do a lot of walking. I do a lot of, it's just my thing. And so the past year, it's been like, ooh, this isn't so good. And then the past 6 months, it's been like, ooh, this is becoming a problem. And the past 3 months, I haven't been able to walk. I mean, I can walk around work, but I can't like put on my earbuds and go for a 6-mile walk. So, in fact, I was in Dallas and I tried to take a little walk. I was limping around and I limped the whole rest of the day. And it's, I can bend it better than before. So I'm going to see him again in 3 months. He goes, that's kind of the rotation for cortisone shots at this point.
Wow.
It'll be symptom. At some point, we'll do a whole thing, but he goes, that'll be up to your symptoms. But I can't tell you what cool a week it's been when you're in pain for that long. And then you kind of get out of it a little bit. And you look back and it's amazing how exhausting it is to be in pain, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
And so.
I went to my doctor because I was having, every time I drink coffee, I'd have a pain in my eye.
Until you take the spoon out, or?
That's what she said, take the spoon out. I didn't know that was a problem.
I love when I can guess your punchlines. That doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, I might have to find a different podcast buddy, because you can't be guessing my jokes.
Don't be having a hissy fit on me right now.
Oh no, this is the no hissy fit zone.
No hissy fit zone.
No hissy fit zone.
I love the name of this podcast.
Do you?
I love how we took the word hissy fit, which is such a cool word, and then we said that's not enough. Let's add to this and call it the no hissy fit zone. That's what I love most about this.
It is pretty good if you think about it.
Oh.
So this is episode 12.
Huh?
Episode 12.
Yeah.
A dozen.
We've gotten past, we're in the double digits.
Wow.
This is 12. This is 12.
It's 12, yeah.
We're about to be teenagers.
Whew.
Next week, teens.
Teens, I know, huh?
Crazy years, those teen years.
Huh. Very cool.
Hey, so what do you got going on tonight? It's a Saturday night. When I say that, that's my way of saying I've got something really cool going on tonight, but I shouldn't make it about me. Let me ask about you. So that's how.
So you know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to wonder what you're doing tonight. I'm going to sit here wondering what you're doing. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to tell you, except I'm taking the keeper out, but it's a surprise. And she doesn't know where we're going or what we're doing.
Oh.
So I'll talk about it now, but I have to make sure she doesn't watch this episode till tomorrow.
So I won't post it today then.
Oh, I like that.
Because you know she goes running to the computer to see if it's up already. You know. I know.
Oh, she does. Yeah. No, there's no question. She's our number one fan.
And I won't even call her. So where are you going? Where are you taking her? Hold on, Len. I got it. Hold on, Len.
Hold on.
I got some news for you, but I can't give it to you right away. Hold on. Where are you taking her, Mike?
I think you've seen, we're going to see a concert tonight. I think you've seen these guys. There is a Zeppelin tribute band called, as you know, Get the Lead Out. It's unbelievable.
Len, I'll call you back.
We are going up to Hampton Beach tonight, to the Hampton Beach
Oh, yeah, you told me that.
to see Get the Lead Out. And I'm picking her, I think we're okay on the posting of this because I'm picking her up at 5. And it's about an hour and 15 minutes up there. We're going to grab some dinner and head into the show. Have you been to this place, the Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom?
No, but I've seen Get the Lead Out a couple of times. I think we talked about this before. I
We
usually
have.
don't like,
I've seen him 6 or 7 times.
I usually don't like tribute bands
I know.
because most of the time they try to look like the original musicians.
Yeah.
So you go see Get the Lead Out, and they don't care about looking like the musicians. They care about sounding like the musicians.
Oh,
And so it's
we're both. We
stage.
love Zeppelin. We're
Yeah.
both huge Zeppelin fans, but I tend to be kind of like a nose and ear critic when it comes to tribute bands, especially Zeppelin. So I always say, if you're doing this, you better be doing it right. And when I went and saw them, I was blown. I mean, these guys are note for note. Studio album. It's crazy good.
And then he tells you, I'm sure you guys noticed that there's 6 of us up here, and there was only 4 people in Zeppelin,
Right.
and we don't look like them. But the thing is, we don't want to look like them. We want to sound like the albums.
Right.
And you can't do that with just 3 people, 3 musicians.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's why we have more people up here to make it sound like them. They sound like Led Zeppelin.
Oh my
Sound like
God.
the album, yeah.
It's crazy good.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
You know, I can't, I tell people you can't have too high expectations because it's going to hit it. It's amazing. I haven't seen them. Well, COVID, it's been a couple of years, but they do a really nice job, especially the singer. I think his name is Paul, of just like talking to the audience and kind of being one of the audience. Like, we're just thrilled to be up here and play this amazing music. We're fans
Yeah.
just like you. But they do some fun stuff and they make some jokes, and it's
Now,
awesome.
Have you heard of Zepparella?
Yes, I have.
I've never seen them live, but I've watched their videos. They're really good.
Yeah.
It's a group with 4
Some
ladies.
good ones out there, that's for sure. Although one year I saw Get the Lead Out, and I also saw at the time he was touring with this. I'm not sure they're still doing it. Was Jason Bonham and the Led Zeppelin Experience.
Yeah, I saw him 3 times.
And I thought Get the Lead Out was even better. I mean, Jason Bonham had some emotional ties, and they get video of his father behind him playing as he's playing, and there's some cool stuff. But this is just going to be a rock concert tonight and a ton of fun.
So I also saw Jason Bonham playing with a circle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is Sammy Hagar's thing.
This is Sammy's band. I'd love to see that. That's
Oh, that was a killer show.
Was that recent?
It was about a year ago, I think, but that's a killer show. Wow.
Circle, yeah.
And the Sammy Hagar, man, at his age, he still rocks out, man. Reminds me a lot of me. I rock out.
At his age, just rocking out. Tell it to the Silver King Brewing Company in Tarpon Springs, Florida.
He rocks out. I rock out.
I don't know what that means, but it's funny.
So I was at CVS this morning. I'm sorry, yesterday afternoon. Yesterday afternoon.
No, CVS, I'm ready.
And there was a guy there wearing a Silver King Brewery shirt. So he was in line in front of me. Says, "Hey, where'd you get that shirt, man?" He looked at me, says, "Oh, I know the owners of this place." I says, "Yeah, me too." He says, "You do?" I says, "Oh, yeah. I play in a band that plays there often. We used to play there like every month for years, and then, you know, we don't play every month anymore because of COVID, but we still play 2 or 3 times a year. We just played there the last week." He goes, "What's the name of your band?" I says, "Oyster Bone." He goes, "I've seen you guys there. You guys are good." I says, "I'm starting to like you already." Funny though.
I like you already. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, it happens once in a while.
You think that sure you think it was given to him by the owner?
Probably, but they have some nice shirts. Silver King, they have quite a few different designs. Real cool.
You gotta really, I'm thinking about this. You gotta really love a brewer if you buy their shirt, right?
Either that or you love shirts. I mean, I don't know.
I guess that's true too. Free advertising for the brewery. Plus they made money on the shirt.
You ever have a shirt that somebody gave you that you never went to, but it says the name of a place or something, and you wear it?
Sure.
See?
But I didn't buy it.
I know.
Maybe I did. I forget it, quite frankly. Interesting.
We're gonna,
Went to the Silver King Brewing Company because now that's an event, that's a trip for me. And then I might buy it there as a kind of remembrance, nostalgia. My friend's band played here. We connected. I drank an oyster bone stout.
so talk about oyster bone stout. The guy that, the brewer that created that oyster bone stout. I see he's doing the open mic nights. He's plays guitar. And he wants to be great at it. He says that what his favorite thing to do is to watch videos on YouTube of guitar players that are really good. He says, I want to be great. I said, what a nice thing to want to be, huh?
Hey, speaking of which, I got a sponsor.
Come on.
Look at this. So breweries, right? Look at how beautiful this can of beer is. This is the Timber Yard Brewing Company. But look at this beautiful can of beer.
Wow.
I just bought this week. I popped into this. These guys are on Route 9 in East Brookfield, Mass, and they have live music. And so I popped in to say, hey, who does the music? And here's a CD, and can we come play here? And they do full bands. And I couldn't just leave without making a purchase, so I did. But isn't that something? This is Pilsner dry hopped with Mandarin, Bavaria. Wow, nice. Pretty, right? Look at those colors. So Timber Yard Brewing Company is a sponsor of ours. They don't know it, but
They just did, yeah.
it's also not too soon, by the way, for the Timber Yard Oktoberfest. That's also available,
Wow.
which is a bit of an amber lager.
When does the Oktoberfest thing usually happen?
Oktoberfest happens in the month of October, almost every year.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
That's consistent.
My island was actually surrounded by water. That's still one of my favorite lines of yours. Oh my goodness.
You know what's funny about that is sometimes when I tell people, because they say, where are you from? I say, originally, they say, yes, I'm from the Azores. And they don't know what that is. I said, it's a group of islands, the Portuguese islands out in the middle of the Atlantic. And the island that I'm from is surrounded by water. And then most of them, some people get it, but some people don't even get that. They're like, oh, like.
I heard that I saw you on a previous podcast. You said that, and I just thought that is one of the most clever lines I've ever heard. I can't imagine someone not getting it, but I can also, if they're not paying attention, like so often, I talk about this a lot, but it's almost rare that when we're in a conversation, we're listening to, like, we're so built not to listen to people, because what we're really doing is thinking about what we're going to say next. And so if you're focused on what you're going to say next and not listening, a line like that, which is hysterical, can be missed by somebody.
So my podcast buddy back then, when I said that I was from an island that was surrounded by water, he didn't get it. In the podcast, he didn't get it. So then the following week, I said to him,
it's a matter of not getting it or understanding, it's just not hearing it.
No, he's not listening. He wasn't listening. He was
I'm thinking what I'm going to say next. I'm not listening, so that can slip through. That's fine.
I said to him, some of my friends told me that when I told you where I was from and the island that I'm from was surrounded by water, they noticed that you didn't even get that. He says, what do you mean? So I said, think about it. My island was surrounded by water. He goes, well, aren't they all surrounded by water? I says, boom. Now you got it.
Boom. Mic drop. How many islands, you might not know the answer to this question, I might be throwing you one. How many islands make up the Azores?
9.
9. So you did know that answer.
Oh yeah, that's a geography question.
That's easy. 9. And in what the island, does your island have a name?
Santa Maria.
Santa Maria. And where is it in size of the 9 islands?
Well, the island is like 16 miles long and 8 miles wide. That's it.
60 by 8. Pretty good size.
16 by 8.
Oh, 16 by 8.
Yeah.
Pretty small.
You can swim around the island if you have some time.
And your Mark Spitz.
By the way, Mark Spitz, how do they used to fill the pools in the Olympics, the swimming pools?
Did I just make a 1972 Olympics reference? My gosh.
Yeah. You remember how you used to
I
have?
thought of Mark Spitz first and not the other guy who won all the other medals recently.
So do you remember how they used to fill those pools, the swimming pools?
How they filled them
Yeah,
with a hose?
Mark Spitz.
Oh, God. Wow. That's gross. That's just gross.
I know.
Who's the other crazy Olympic swimmer who won all the medals recently? What's his?
Phelps.
Yeah, Michael Phelps. Isn't that funny? I thought of Mark Spitz before Michael Phelps.
Wow.
Sign of the
Without,
yes.
without Mark Spitz, Michael Phelps would never place to swim.
There'd be no Michael Phelps.
Yeah, because Mark Spitz had to fill the pool with Spitz. So I can see that this podcast is going nowhere right now.
I was just consulting my notes. I had a really cool experience this week. I'm trying to get an apartment renovated for rent. And I got all these contractors lined up, electrician, plumber, I'm doing windows, hardwood floors, linoleum. And there was this one thing hanging over my head that I hadn't contracted out, which was painting. And I'm looking around going, well, there's more painting here than I expected. There's like 5 rooms plus a hallway plus some ceilings. And I'm trying to get ready to do this myself because painting is funny. Anybody can paint.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm realizing I don't like to paint. Like I hate painting and I'm not going to be great at it compared to a painter.
Right.
And so I decided to contract it out and called a painter, a couple of conversations. This guy showed up on Monday. I didn't know him. He was referred to me by somebody. And he kind of walked through and we settled on a price. And he had 2 guys there the next day. He was there on Tuesday. And no, he was there Monday. He had guys there Tuesday, 2 guys Tuesday, nobody Wednesday, and then same 2 guys Thursday and Friday. And they finished last night. And I walked through this morning like, this place looks amazing. And I mean, it's all money spent or money invested, but I really was pleased that I decided to do that because I didn't want to do it. It looks amazing.
And those guys can knock it out in no time at all.
And they're good. If this is all they do, man, it's amazing how good they are.
Yeah.
Wow. So I was happy about that.
Remember Stephen Wright, the comedian? He had all these crazy, stupid things that he would say. He says, people say it's a small world, but I'd hate to paint it.
I always remember this line by him, and I don't know why. When he talked about having a microwave fireplace installed in his living room. Now he can sit in front of the fire for an entire evening in just 8 minutes. He just got a clever brain. Kind of like you, clever brain.
And then he says that he bought some powdered water. But he doesn't know what to mix it with. So I read a thing one time that his wife is the one that wrote most of his jokes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I tell you about their relationship and their conversations.
Well, but if she's got that kind of a mind, she's a keeper, possibly.
Another keeper.
Yeah. Keepers are good. Talking
I
about keepers.
I hope the keeper enjoys Get the Let Out tonight. I think she will.
So, well, if she doesn't get the light out, then she can't be a keeper.
I don't know why I think this. I think this venue tonight is the band's favorite venue to play. Of course, they're all over the place. And maybe they say that wherever they are, but I thought I heard that.
You know how bands are.
I,
So,
I saw Extreme at this venue as well.
yeah.
And I was there 2 weeks ago with the Keepa. She doesn't know we're going again tonight, but she brought me 2 weeks ago to see Ian Wilson of Heart.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
71 and still rocking. Oh my God, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sure we talked about this before. The Kennedy Center Awards that they have when they did for Led Zeppelin, and Hart came out and played
With Jason on drums.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And they had like that whole, like a 50 voice choir.
Oh yeah.
Stairway to Heaven, right?
First Stairway to Heaven, yeah. Wow.
Powerful part of that for me was as they pan to the band, Zeppelin in the front row of the balcony, Robert Plant appeared to be kind of crying or tearing up, or maybe it was hot and his eyes were sweating, maybe something like that.
No, he's a little bit of a wuss.
But that was powerful.
Hey, talking about
Heard after the fact that he was getting emotional because he didn't realize that Jason Bonham was playing with the band.
yeah, when they saw them, they were surprised. Yeah. Talk about drummers. Who was talking about drummers? We were, right?
I think so.
So we're thinking of Bill Wyatt. It's Bill, right?
What's that?
Bill Wyatt, is that his name?
Yeah. Was that who that was? I always forget those names, but he was
Rolling Stones drummer.
Yeah.
Wyatt. I know his last name is Wyatt. Wyatt.
Watts,
I think it's Wyatt.
Charlie Watts.
Huh? Charlie Watts?
I confused the two because there's one guy who's like 84 who's still alive. I think he was 81. Check
Wow.
your machine there and see what's going on.
Let me talk to the Google.
I think the keeper's trying to call you. Put her on hold and because she's asking what we're doing tonight. I
Maybe it is Charlie Watts, huh?
think it's Charlie Watts.
Yeah, Charlie Watts, yeah.
Oh, 81 years old.
Yeah, I think he was with the band for 58 years or something like that.
That's crazy. Talk about longevity.
That's amazing, man.
Oh,
So now I heard that in heaven, him and Dusty from ZZ Top, the bass player,
oh yeah.
they're gonna jam up there.
There's a hell of a band in heaven that continues to expand.
Oh yeah.
But, wow.
Then if they need somebody, they say, hey,
Think about because some of our favorite rockers we grew up in are, I mean, everybody ages, and sad to think about, but some of our favorites at some point won't be here anymore.
I know.
We better hurry up and go see them. That's what I'm getting at.
And one of these days, people will say, not these days, but one of these days in the future,
Hmm.
we're gonna be talking about, yeah, my favorite podcasters were Tony Cabral and Michael Copperwhite. They're no longer
Remember those
with us.
guys?
But you know what? Those guys were at it for years and years and years and never had a hissy fit. Never.
Never did,
No.
as of today.
We never will.
Oh, they never got past that epic 12th episode, and after that, they just everything went downhill with the hissy fit, and they never talked again.
So here's the thing with a hissy fit. Because we're doing this separately at your different locations, we're on Zoom. If a hissy fit was to start, I could just terminate it.
Oh, good point. And you could edit it out and still post the episode.
Right, but the other one where the hissy fit happened, we were both in the same room, and I couldn't control it because
I don't need to know anymore. I'm not asking. I'm not
I
prying. I
know.
don't need to know any more than that. I know it's very emotional.
Yeah, I don't want to cry on this podcast.
You know, it would be fun for us is to do one of our No Hissy Fit Zone. God, I love that name. No Hissy Fit Zone podcasts together in the same room. That'd be big for us at some point.
Yeah, I think we can do that. I have the equipment to do it with. 'Cause,
Oh, so I'm going to come to you. Is that what you're saying?
or I can come to you, bring the equipment. It's easy. But when we do it together in the same room with the equipment that I have and the microphones, it sounds even better.
Hmm.
And then I use the HD camera, which is even better than this one that I'm using now. And we would be like
I
stars
know.
overnight.
Had I known you were going to surprise me and come to the side yard gig a month or two ago, we could have planned to have done a podcast together.
Yeah, but of course I was not available until the afternoon, so it would have been kind of a tough.
Although I preferred the surprise. Hey, we're doing a side yard gig again next
On the 4th.
a week from today. Oh my gosh, it's the end of August. Yeah, next Saturday we're doing a side yard gig.
Yeah, and we're talking about the keeper. Next month, September 11th,
Yeah,
Terry and I celebrate 44 years of marriage.
on the 11th.
44 years, buddy.
44 years. I'm going to write that down. 44. 44.
You know what the secret is for to stay together that long?
Getting married when you're 10 years old, apparently.
No. We go out twice a week.
I got this one. I can finish this for you if you want.
She goes on Tuesday and I go on Thursday. It's amazing. How
Oh,
people love that one. It's amazing.
44 years. It's such a beautiful accomplishment. It's amazing. It's inspirational.
By the
Well,
way, in our marriage, I'm the boss. You know why? Because she says I can be. I told you one time when we were like the newlyweds, sort of, we were discussing who the boss was, and I said, "Listen, I'm from Europe, so I said, I'm the man, I'm the boss." So then I didn't see her for 3 days.
Wow.
After the third day, the swelling in my right eye started coming down a little bit, and I could see it just a little bit. Huh? Yeah, 3 in a row. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Wow. September 11th.
She says now, she says I have 2 faults. One, I don't listen. And
There was another one.
I guess, I don't know.
Slipped your mind.
Wow.
My island is actually surrounded by water. Hey, I'm from an island too. I grew up on Long Island.
Did you?
Island.
That thing is long, I drove it once almost to the end. It's like
120 miles.
120, yeah, it's crazy.
It's 120 by 30. A little bit bigger than Santa Maria, but not a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, but the people from that island are nowhere near as good as the people from my island. Don't even challenge that.
No, no.
No,
Nope.
no, no.
Wow.
My people from my island are always ready to go. No, they're always ready to go. No,
So we need to work on the sound effects and maybe get a few more going. What do you think?
I have a chart.
Oh, you do? Oh, there's 4 in there.
Well, there's a lot more. There's 4 buttons, but you can program whatever you want into it.
Intro, go, sad. How come I only know 3? What's the 4th one?
Fourth one is the
All right, give me the other ones.
sad trombone.
Yeah.
And then the go is like a charge thing.
Oh, I hit that perfectly. But what's the 4th one? I don't know the 4th one.
That's the intro music.
Oh. This is like high slick production, like we're the real deal now.
There's a bunch of different things you can put on there. There was one time we had by mistake somehow one of those buttons ended up being like a big thing of applause, audience applauding.
Oh, I like that one.
So I was saying something to the other guy there. I forget what it was. I says, "Yeah, but every time I do that, people love it." And I hit that button and they're like cheering and stuff. I said, "See, they won't stop cheering." And he was laughing like crazy. I said, I kept hitting the button and said, "Come on, stop now. You're embarrassing me. Stop, stop. You're embarrassing me." And the thing kept just, the big cheer stuff. I don't know how to get it back, but there's all kinds of different things you can program, but there's only 4 buttons. Unless there's probably a way to go through them somehow. I don't know.
We should see if we could add to our repertoire of
What are you
sound.
doing on there?
I'm not sure it would work on my end. I had sound effects on my end. I don't know if it would translate through the recording very well.
I must admit though, this thing that I bought, it's called the Zoom Pod Tracker. So you can put four microphones in there, and you can listen, on the headphones. So if we're together, we both have headphones to each other. But there's also all kinds of sound effects you can do, and then there's a lot more than that. I just can't remember right now, but it's pretty cool. Oh, you can actually plug in two phone calls at the same time. So if we have people call in,
Oh,
you can take the call on your phone and plug it into the unit, and you can have a conversation with people that are calling in.
we could have a guest on the show.
I guess so. I guess so.
Some podcasts rely on their guests,
Yeah.
but not us. We rely on your quick wit, charm, and humor.
Mostly the charm. Yeah. Oh boy.
So much for the wit and the humor, huh?
So, you know how we would like to talk about quotes? You know,
Mm,
what about before you criticize them and walk a mile in the shoes?
yeah.
So here's the deal: if you actually walk a mile in somebody's shoes, after a mile, you got his shoes. He can't catch up to you anyway. So what's the deal?
Oh, my father used to tell this joke when I was a little kid. He loved this joke, and he used to say, "This guy comes across a guy walking down the street with one shoe on." And the guy says, "Did you lose a shoe?" And he goes, "No, I found one."
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He thought that was funny. Oh, he would tell that and laugh.
Yeah, I've told that one many times before. I said, I'm sitting outside at this coffee shop having a coffee. This guy was walking by with only one shoe on. I says, hey, buddy, did you lose a shoe? He goes, no, man, I found one. See, those jokes are stupid, but they're funny.
Boom.
Classics.
You had was it last Saturday night? You had a gig at the Silver King?
Yeah. That was an exceptionally good gig for us. Part of it is that there was a lot of people there that used to come regularly to see us.
Yeah.
We've known for years. And there was probably 15, 20 people there that we haven't seen in a long time that were there.
Wow.
And they're fans, but they haven't come during the COVID thing. They haven't come, and they were there, and it was just so cool to see them all.
Nice.
And then we had Friend on the drums again. Friend is the guy that I told you about. He's a good drummer. Adrian, our normal drummer, is a real good drummer too, and they're both good, but they have different techniques.
This is the jazz guy who fills in, and he just knows the songs, right?
Yeah, he's so funny. So as a drummer, you might appreciate this. We play Folsom Prison Blues.
Yeah.
So we're rehearsing one day. He says, so how do you guys start that one? I says, well, I just do that little riff in the beginning with the guitar. And then we all come in. He says, how about the outro? You know, the finish. He says, well, at the outro, I do the same gig at the end. And then after we finish it, you come in with 3 Bo Diddleys. Right? So the other guy's gonna be saying, like, huh? Like, how's that supposed to be instruction for him? So he says, okay, I got it. So then we play the song, and then when we get to the end, down, 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 down. Then he goes, down, 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 down. And then we all go out, come in and do the thing, the 3 Bo Diddleys. And the guys in the middle like, whoa, what do you guys have some kind of language where we don't understand? I didn't know what he was going to do. They says, why wouldn't you know? That's what he told me to do. 3 Bo Diddleys. One of those moments you'd have to be there to appreciate.
I love it. I love it. 3 Bo Diddleys.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. And when's your next gig? How many sets do you play when you play at? Is this like 3 hours?
Yeah, three sets of an hour or something.
Nice. You got anything coming up?
And the next one is I think November 1st. First Friday.
This Timber Yard Brewing Company, they do 3-hour sets also. I'm hoping to get one of those things.
Yes. Let me see here.
A lot of music, 3 hours.
September.
The
Yeah.
The very first gig we ever played was at this the Belfont Hotel. It just came to me in Millbury, this tiny little dumpy dive bar. And we were playing from 9 to 1, 4 hours. We're an original band. At the time, we had 11 songs. We got to go 4 hours.
Wow.
Off. We did some jamming. One of the things we can do is just start a jam. And we know each other. That was 4 of us then, 3 of us now. We kind of know each other well enough and where to go and dynamics that we could just start something and jam for 12, 15 minutes. And a lot of times it's really cool. And we record all the stuff in our rehearsal space. Some of it becomes songs, but to just do a jam. So it's been kind of neat. So now we have more than 11 songs, thankfully. But that's a crazy story. People hear that and they go, you 11 songs and you played for 4 hours.
So you know that what's the name of the song? Born in the Bayou. That's what it is.
Yeah.
PCR. We play that in it can be a 3-minute song, or it can be a 15-minute or 17-minute song.
Yep.
We've done it for 17 minutes because you just get into jamming and stuff. It's really cool.
Fun.
I think I told you the story about Adrian, Adrian Silver, our drummer. First time I met his dad. Did I tell you about that?
Oh, with the trumpet?
Yeah.
Love it.
No, it was a saxophone.
Oh, and he could play.
Oh, all he did in his life, his whole life was a musician. That's the only job he ever had. Played all kinds of horns and stuff. And we were rehearsing at Adrian's house. This might be a good, interesting story. So, we rehearsed pretty loud. In his kitchen, he has like the kitchen with the island, and then the family room is all music equipment, the drum kit and all deal.
Yeah.
And then there's a pocket door that goes into the bedrooms. So we play pretty loud, and all of a sudden the pocket door opened up. And where I was sitting, I could see it. The other guys couldn't see it, but I saw it. And there was a guy that came out with long gray hair. It looked like he was 80 years old to me. I'm thinking to myself, oh no, this guy was sleeping and we woke him up. I wonder who that is,
He's gonna be pissed.
So I'm trying to tell guys to bring it down a little bit, but they're not paying attention to me. They're just having a good time. So then I look at the guy, with the long hair and the old guy, and he's tapping his foot and he's like shaking his head. And then I was doing a lead and he goes, I said, "Whoa, he likes it. This is cool." So then he goes back into the room. And I said, "Okay, he's gonna go try to sleep again or something." So I guess we're okay. He comes out with a saxophone. He grabs my microphone and he brings it down to the sax and he starts jamming with us.
Wow.
And I'm getting the shivers just thinking about it because it was like one of those moments in my life where it's so vivid in my mind. And he was really good. So now we're jamming and he'd look at me and he'd smile and stuff. I said, "Wow, this guy's awesome."
Oh.
I had no idea who he was. So we did this. I actually had a video of it. We did it for about 17 minutes.
Wow.
And when it was over, I says, "Man, that was so awesome." I give him a high five, give me a high five. And he says, "So you're Tony, right?" I says, "Yeah." He goes, "Hey, man, Adrian told me a lot about you and, you knew all the other guys' names and stuff." So he said hi to everybody. And then I said, "So who are you?" He goes, "I'm Adrian's dad." I said, "Oh, wow." He says, "Yeah." I says, "This is so surprising that you came in here and started playing the saxophone with us." He goes, "Well, it's all I've done all my life was play music." He toured with a dinner dance group. People play at hotels and people come in to dance and the band would play and stuff, and they toured all over the country.
Did you get an indication of how long it had been since he played live with a band?
No, but he says what happened is after he was still going strong, but then after about 15 minutes of it, he was starting to lose his breath a little bit. So that's why he wanted to kind of stop.
He must have been you must have made his day. Thrilling for him.
So that guy had so many. Well, he made my day because he had so many beautiful stories. And for a while after that, he was sick and he was at the VA hospital in St. Pete, and I worked pretty close to there, so I'd go see him at lunchtime or a few times a week, 2-3 times a week.
In the hospital?
In the hospital, we sit there and just he'd tell stories. I was like, wow, this guy's so amazing. I mean, he passed away, but it was so freaking awesome.
That's a cool story. Music.
And so he's
Crazy.
We call him JJ. I don't even remember what his name is, but we call him JJ. JJ. So he was half Mexican, half Portuguese. So I used to say to him, so half of you was messed up, but the other half is pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
He was awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
I used to brag about him one time. Terry met him. She goes, "I can see why you like that guy. He's so awesome. He's nice. He's just a real nice person,
Yeah.
When he talked and he told stories and when you were talking to him, he was like looking you right in the eye and he's just like right in the moment. It was awesome. Cool guy.
Great stories. It's funny how we hang on to some of those important ones,
Yeah. Did you ever see the videos of the guy that played saxophone with us at Silver King?
No.
That story? So one time we're playing during the first break. There was a guy sitting at the bar. He goes, "Hey, man, you guys sound really good." I says, "Oh, thank you, sir." He goes, No problem. You guys sound really, really good." He says, "Hey, you guys ever consider bringing in a saxophone player to play with you?" I says, "Well, I don't know. Sometimes, he says, somebody will sit in." I says, "What happens with saxophone players? Sometimes they come in and they know how to sit in and they know when to play, when their part's in, and they don't play. Others like you want to play through the whole song and they kind of take away from the song instead of making it better." He goes, "Well, if a guy knew how to play the guitar, play the saxophone, and he knew his place and he didn't run over you guys, would you consider bringing somebody in like that?" So now I figured out what's going on. So I said, "Well, it depends. Does he have his saxophone in his car with him?" He goes, "Yes, he does." I says, "Tell him to go get it." So he goes out there, this guy comes back with the saxophone, right? So I told the guys, "Hey, we got somebody that's coming to sit in with us." They said, "Really?" Because I didn't even ask the guys. I just said,
Right.
"Yeah, he's plays saxophone. And I have a good feeling about this guy." So here's the deal. He's a professor at Florida State. I said to him, so how'd you get over here? He goes, well, I was in town and I was looking for some music. So I went online and looked at live music, and I heard some of you guys' videos. I wanted to come over and play with you. So I think he played 7 or 8 songs with us. And he knew when to come in, and he was awesome. I have to send you a link to a couple of the videos.
Oh, that's such a funny story.
The first one we did was What I Like About You.
Yeah.
So we started playing that,
Romantics.
right, romantics. You wouldn't think to have a saxophone in that song, but I'll send you the video. You'll see it's awesome.
I bet.
Yeah, and then he did it on Johnny Be Good and did a few other songs. It was really cool.
Yeah, sax is one of the instruments that if you're good with it, you can kind of jump in on anything.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
so
love to
cool.
jam with the horn section. That'd be fun. Well, listen, let's wrap this up because I got to go have lunch with my niece and nephew because I do that every other week. Sweet kid.
Yeah, I know you. Sometimes this is not the first time that you shut me down to go have lunch with them.
No, it happens pretty regularly.
Fortunately, I never take it
Band
personally.
rehearsal. I got band rehearsal this afternoon,
Oh,
and I got to shower and get cleaned up and pick up the keeper and
So-
have her watch our podcast on the way to wherever it is we might be going.
so where's the? I'm sorry, not where, but what time is the show on the 4th?
8 p.m.
Oh, so it could be a night thing.
So you're talking about tonight's gig?
No, it's September 4th.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the side yard gig is 3 in the afternoon, 3 to 6.
Yeah, okay.
Same time as last time, hopefully less rain.
That's right, unless hail.
Oh, it was crazy.
Phew.
So that should be,
Right,
I'm looking forward to that. In fact, that's not till then. So if you want to do, we'll do number 13 next Saturday morning, 10 a.m.
ooh, lucky 13. Yay.
Ba-da-ba-ba-bum. I didn't hear it.
Yeah, see. I think the microphone is set up to, just like loud noises, it's set up to block it or something.
Oh, that could be.
Because I always hear it here, but sometimes you don't. I can tell you don't because there's no reaction from you.
Right. Well, I could also not be paying attention and thinking about what I'm going to say next.
That's the first thing I thought was too, but now I'm thinking maybe it's not your fault. Maybe it's the
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
First note. I can name that sound effect in one note.
So you really don't hear it, huh?
I heard the first note.
Wow.
It does muffle. I hear the first and then it shuts it down.
That's what it is, yeah.
All right. Cue the outro, baby. Always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Same here, man.
I'll see you soon.
I'll have to see if I can get up there on the 4th because I want to see you guys play again.
And don't tell the keeper what we're doing tonight either.
Well, I'm not going to tell them until we get off until we shut this thing down.
Make sure you return that phone call. I'll see you, pal. Take care.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.